Hello, welcome back. So, yes, I know I have not kept up with my filming schedule, and I can't remember what I said my next video was going to be about in my last video, but I think I've changed it. But here we go. I feel like this isn't a particularly long table, but it feels like it's like this. It feels like a really long table. It feels like something out of one of those Italian sort of mafia crime, Are you talking to me? I demand respect. But, yeah. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So what are we talking about today? So we are talking about being safe. Safety. And there are many different forms of safety when we're talking about gays and sex and the things that we may or may not do. So here we go. Let's start off with a few. First of all, many of you will be on, if you're old enough, apps and social media. Things like, it's not opening. Haha. Things like Grindr, like this is mine. I have a message. Oh no, it's literally just all of those spam sites you get. That's all they ever get. Nobody loves me. So, there are obviously loads and loads of gay apps for meeting, as we call them, dating apps, let's face it. We all know really what they're for. They're pretty much just hooking up apps, most of them. If you are going to be doing this, just be wary of, obviously, who you're talking to. Make sure you are, sure that the person you're talking to is the person that you think you're talking to. First of all, I think that is really important. And second of all, especially if, depending on where you live and stuff, let somebody know where you're going. If you can, I think that's always. I know it's one of these things that we say quite often, but again, I think it's important. And anyone who has heard of the guy in London, that sort of, murdered like 3-4 gay guys. It's a stark reminder of how vulnerable we can be at times. So, just make sure, people know where you're going. Make sure you're, if you're meeting someone, meet them in public if it's possible. Obviously if it's a hookup, perhaps it's not always going to be possible. I know that, we're just talking, ideally try and meet. This is why, not to say that you can't pick up weirdos in clubs and things, but this is why, I don't know, I always think it's sometimes better not to be meeting people on apps and to actually meet them out in places, although it doesn't necessarily mean you're safer, and especially as you're going to normally be drunk, so it's like, what do you do? But be as safe as you can, basically, is what I'm trying to say. If do as much as you can to make sure that you keep yourself safe. Try and make sure people know where you are. Try and make sure that, like I say, you are, the person you're talking to is the person that you are talking to. There's really much more you can say really about, so, that sort of aspect of it, because, they are really things that you can do. Just make sure you're not getting yourself into a situation or a place where you're not comfortable. And if for any reason that you don't feel comfortable, then get the hell out of there and leave. Make sure you've got your phone with you, and make sure you keep that close by. And if something feels off, just go. At the end of the day, just get out of there. Just leave. Doesn't matter. Just go. Just go. Get out. Simple as that, really. Not simple, but potentially, but you've got to just do whatever you can. And if God heavens it doesn't, but if something does go wrong, do whatever you need to do to try and get out of there as safely as possible. Shout, scream, kick, whatever you need to do if something it does go horribly wrong. Let's touch wood. Hope it doesn't, and everyone stays safe. But, unfortunately there are still some madmen out there. But let's move on to other things. Let's talk about sexual health, diseases, and all that kind of stuff, because that's a real ratings winner. So, first of all, and this really applies to really just the UK. I don't know what about other countries. But give yourself as much protection against things as you can. So, for a start, now in the UK, you may or may not be aware, but you can get the Hpv vaccine, which I would strongly recommend because it helps guard you against some unpleasurable things. It used to only be available to women, but now it is also available to gay men because some of because basically some of the things it's affecting women, it can affect gay men as well. So I'm sure it's cancer, isn't it? So yeah, that's an important one to get. So if you've not had a HPV vaccine, go and get one. There is nothing stopping you. It is going to be available at any sexual health clinic, and I'm fairly sure you can get it through your GP as well. But obviously, if you don't want to have that discussion, then the sexual health clinic is going to be your best option. Along with that, you can also get your vaccines for hepatitis, and they're all now it's hepatitis B, and you can get it for hepatitis A as well. Again, both of these are really, really important ones to get. Again, you can get them from your local sexual health clinic. Hepatitis B has been one that's been available for quite a long time. I'm not sure how long hepatitis A has been available. I've only recently had mine. I've had my first one. And that is an important one because the bacteria and things that you can pick up through if you're going to be rimming, or if you have had somebody, shall we say, doing certain things that end, and then they bring it around to this end, then that same bacteria can come along for the ride. So again, I would recommend getting that too. Give yourself, like I say, the best protections that you can. Now, that is I'm pretty sure that's all the vaccines I can think of at the moment. I mean, if you can think of anything else, then obviously that I've missed, drop a comment or anything else, and we can cover that in a different video. But yeah, they are very, very important. So, one of the best and most safest ways to protect yourself as well is to use one of these. Our little friend, the condom. Now, there are quite a few people that don't like them. There are quite a few people that would insist on them. And I think, most porn nowadays is bareback porn. Just remember that, porn stars are, they are basically actors and they go through a lot of testing first as well. So, just bear that in mind, Using one of these will give you a lot of protection. Now, that being said, most people, although some people do it, most people will not use one of these for a blowjob. And I include myself in that. I've never given somebody a blowjob with one of these on. Just because it's just... Yeah, no, I don't know, just... But if it's going anywhere else, I mean, that's not to say you can't do it. They do flavoured ones and things, but I mean, I'm not. Well, basically, you've got to make your own decisions on that. Really, I mean, for me, it's just something I've never been able to do. But then again, it's never really come up. Obviously, around the other end, it's very important. It protects you against a lot of things. It has a high percentage rate of protection. It's in the 90s. So it is very important. Just make sure you are putting it on properly. And we will have a go at that shortly. And hopefully I do it right. And I'm going to get someone else to do it. But there we go. So yeah, safe sex is important, and again, the protections against a whole host of things. Obviously, you've got things like gonorrhea, chlamydia, all those sorts of delightful things. and of course HIV. Now, moving on to that particular topic, you have this. Now, there are now different ways of taking this, and they are changing. Now, I'm just going to talk about this particular one. This is the take a pill every day. Again, you can get it through your sexual health clinic. It's just one pill every day. I have had one today, so I don't really want to be manhandling it, but that's what it looks like. Hopefully you'll be able to see that. Just one little blue pill. Looks a little bit like the aggro actually. But there you go. But yeah, this is basically, this is PrEP. Like I say, you take one a day. You get it from your sexual health clinic. They will normally give you a 3-month prescription at a time. I take it because I feel it's best to be safe than sorry, and to be fair, I have not always been the most sensible person in my past, I would admit. So yeah, I think, use everything that's available to protect you basically. I think again all of these things are personal choices, but again, it was something I would recommend doing. It's it just gives you that bit of peace of mind, that little bit of extra safety. So yeah, it's simple. One pill a day. I take one in the morning, and it, if accidents do happen or things break or whatever else, you don't have to worry as much. Obviously, you should still always get yourself tested. If you are going to take PrEP, there are a couple of things to be aware of. If you are getting it through the gum clinic, then they will go through everything with you. If you are buying it or you're somewhere where you have to buy it yourself, you need to make sure that you have a liver test before you start taking it, and then you have to have one every 3 months because it can affect that. It's rare, it's not a high percentage, but you should still have that done because it's obviously something you need to look after. So again, just make sure obviously you are seeking medical advice before taking any sort of pills. Obviously, if you have unfortunately already got HIV, then you can take the other one, PEP, and that will obviously prevent you from being able to transmit it, and you can have again a normal and healthy sex life. And I think people need to get over that a little bit, because I think too long we've demonised and stigmatised people that do happen to have HIV, and I don't think it's really necessary. I think it comes from that dark time, that we had in the 80s and probably slightly early 90s, when it wasn't dealt with as it is now, and there weren't the medications that we have now. But again, it's provided you want one. If you have it and you want that one, then you're not going to pass it on to anybody. And if you don't have it, then take this as a precaution, and that way you'll be fine as well. So it's there is there's no excuse now really for us not to be able to to really start to bring down a lot of the sexually transmitted diseases and infections, if we're sensible. Okay, yes, I know we're not always sensible, and to be fair, I might be slightly hypocritical of me, to be fair, but at the end of the day, I'm just here to, this video is just about telling people about what options there are that are out there, and then it's down to you to obviously make the decisions that work best for you. But like I say, those vaccines, I've had all mine. I would highly recommend getting them. Again, I would recommend this. It's one pill every morning. It's not really difficult. Obviously, this too. But yeah, there we go. Just be as safe as you can. in whatever aspects of your sex life you're doing. And I think if you are of the, shall we say, kinkier variety, again, it's just about obviously making sure that you trust the person that whatever you're doing it with, and they don't go further than you want to go, or and things like that. Just it's just common sense, and be safe. Be informative. Talk to people. Talk to each other. If whoever it is you're with, get to know people depending on like what kind of things you're going to be doing, and everything will be fine and fun and yeah. But yeah, it's just all about you got to make those decisions for yourself. But I'm just here to say, obviously, to try and say, look, these are the things that should be available to you. I like I said, I've had all of my Hep B vaccines. I've had my HPV vaccine. I've had one part of my Hep A vaccine. I've got to go and have my booster in probably 4 months now, I think. It's April, so yeah, about 4 months. So I'll be having that, and hopefully I'll be all protected against that too. And then obviously I'll keep taking this and, having fun. Well, I say having fun, maybe not. It's been a while. But anyway, enough about my sex life. Unless you want to know more about that, and in which case you can ask and I will answer honestly and openly, because that is what I want this all to be about. We need to talk about sex more. Not just sex, I mean everything in the gay community, but sex especially, because I think half the time it's a bit sometimes too taboo. Although the younger generation seem to be much more sex happy than perhaps we were. Or just maybe I just don't remember my younger years as well. I don't know. We won't talk about numbers, that's okay there. So, let us... Yes, this is one of mine before you ask. Oh, this is embarrassing. I'm not going to tell you how big it is. It's big enough, that's all you need to know. So here is the little lighter. Now this is the one bit. See, this is why I always get someone else to put it on. You have to figure out which way it's going. Give it a squeeze at the top and just roll it down. And then you should have a little nipple at the top like that. Oh, I've pulled it down a bit. There we go. Notice there. It's just not very easy to see on here. And there you go. One condom. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much how they told us to do it in sex ed class. Anyone sees anything of them. And the thing is as well, look, they are very strong, look. I mean, look at this. Wow, look at that. I mean, they can break, it does happen, I'm not saying it doesn't. I don't really want that on my table. But they're pretty strong and pretty stretchable. So none of this, oh, they don't fit. It's going to fit. And if you really don't think it's going to fit, you can buy bigger ones. They are available. In fact, I think you can buy smaller ones as well for people on the other end. This is the thing as well. Don't get caught up in size. We'll cover size and things like that in another video, because that's not really for this video. That's not what this is about. This is about just obviously health implications and safety when meeting people. I don't know if I've really done a very good job of trying to cover this. I've tried to cover it as best I can. I mean, if anyone else has any ideas or would like to talk about it, then feel free, drop a message, write a comment. I don't know, email me, something. Anyway, yeah, that is it really. Don't forget you can get PrEP from the NHS now, from your local sexual health clinic, along with your vaccines. Make sure you get tested regularly. If you're having a lot of sex, I would recommend doing it every month. If not, every 2 to 3 months may be fine, but obviously it just depends on how busy you are. The more you're doing it, the more you should get tested, especially if you are going down the route of not using our little friend Johnny over there. It is, something that everybody should do. You should always know that you do or don't have something. And obviously, if you do have something, then take the appropriate medications to make sure it either goes away or you don't pass it on. Honesty is always the best policy. And yeah, stay safe, tell people where you're going, and have a lot of fun doing it. Thank you for now, and I do remember I have planned what my next video is going to be, and I can't remember. I think sex toys is the next one, so that should be great fun. So yes, we are going to talk about things that are available to you. Anyway, goodbye for now, and catch you next time.
What if we run away? What if we left today? What if we said goodbye to